Hello students, today we will again continue learning our chapter 8, that is body movements. So let's see what we will learn today. Today we will learn about cartilage, joints and muscles in humans. So these two topics we will discuss today. First let's see what is cartilage. Cartilage is a tissue which is softer than bones and it can be bent easily. Some examples of cartilage are present on upper part of ear lobes, on the nose and also between the joints. You can feel the cartilage, children. You can bend your ear, then you can feel that cartilage is present and it is very soft. You can easily bend it. Now a question comes to our mind, how can we see our bones? We can feel the bones of our body but we cannot see them. For seeing the bones we need to take an X-ray. X-ray are able to penetrate the skin but they cannot go through the hard bones of our body. So this is how we get the picture of our bones. So X-ray images help the doctors in detecting fractures, dislocation, etc. You can see the X-ray image on your screen, children. Now we will study about joints in humans. First, the definition. A joint is a meeting point of two bones in the body. You can see in the video that the movement of bones occurs at the joints. So the point where two bones are meeting, that point is called a joint. So on the basis of type of movements, joints are classified into three categories. First are movable joints, second slightly movable and third fixed joints. First we will learn about movable joints. Joints which allow movement of bones freely are called movable joints. Example, ball and socket joints, hinge joint, pivot joint, gliding joint. First, ball and socket joint. A ball and socket joint is formed by two bones. One bone has a round end while the other bone has a cavity at one end. The ball-like part of one bone fits into the hollow part of the second bone. Example of ball and socket joint. First is hip joint. You can see in the picture how the hip bone is moving. Second example is of shoulder joint. You can see in the video that the upper edge of the upper arm is like a ball which fits into a cavity in the shoulder bone. Second type of movable joint is hinge joint. The bones allow movement only in one direction. You can see the movement is done either back and forth or up and down. Examples of hinge joint are elbow joint and knee joint. Hinge joint, it looks like the hinge of a door. Third type of joint is pivot joint. In this, one bone fits into another in such a way so that it can move around the second bone freely. Pivot joint is present between the head and the neck. You can see in the video how the head is moving freely. Last type of freely movable joint is gliding joint. This joint allows sliding movement of two bones over each other. The movement occurs side to side as well as in backward and forward directions. Examples of gliding joint are ankle joint and wrist joint. See their movement, how the bones of these joints move. Now we will learn about slightly movable joints. These joints allow only limited movements like bending and rotation. These joints are present between the adjacent vertebrae in the backbone. See the video nicely, children. You can see how the backbone is helping us to bend and to rotate. Now we will learn about fixed joints. Fixed joints are also called immovable joints. Joints which perform the basic function of protection rather than movement are called fixed joints. Such joints are fixed and they do not move. The main function of these joints is protection. Such joints are present in upper part of the skull. In skull, these joints form protective chambers for the soft internal organs and they protect the most important organ of our body, that is brain. Now students, let us see about the bones in the skull. You can see in the video, it is showing you the bones of the skull and on the face also. See there. Now you can see the joints. These are the fixed joints. So skull is made up of many bones joined together. You can see the lines. These are the joints and these are the bones that are joined together. So let's do a recap, children. The first movable joint we studied was ball and socket joint. This joint provides movement in any direction and one bone was in the form of a ball which fits into the another bone like a cavity. Examples of ball and socket joint are shoulder joint, hip joints. Next joint was pivot joint. It allows movement of one bone around the second bone freely. This joint was present between the head and the neck. Next joint was hinge joint. It allows movement only in one direction. For example, joint in elbow and knee. Next is gliding joint. These joints allow sliding movements of two bones over another. Example are wrist and ankle joints.
You do different exercises in your yoga classes at school. For doing these exercises, you do different types of movements. For example, moving your arms and legs, forward bending, shoulder rotation, and many more. You can do these movements easily because your body is flexible. Such flexibility in our body is due to the presence of joints. Do you know what a joint is? Well, a joint is actually a place where two bones are joined together. Press your hand against your knee, shoulder, or your fingers. You can feel your joints there. Not all joints allow movements. On the basis of whether the joint helps in the movement or not, these joints can be categorized into two types: immovable and movable. The immovable joints are the joints that allow no movement of the body parts. These are also called fixed joints. Such joints are found in the skull. Except the joints present in the skull, all other joints found in the body are movable. Movable joints are the joints that help in the movement of the body parts. Movable joints are further of four different types. They are hinge joint, ball and socket joint, pivot joint, and gliding joint. Let us learn about these joints one by one. Let us first learn about the hinge joint. A hinge joint is very similar to a door hinge. You can see that the door hinge allows the opening and closing of the door in two directions. Similarly, a hinge joint in the body also allows the movement in two directions, that is, forward and backward, or upward and downward. The elbow and knee joints are the two examples of the hinge joint. Let us now learn about the ball and socket joint. In the ball and socket joint, the end of one bone acts like a ball. This bone fits into another bone, which acts as a socket. Hence, the joint is called the ball and socket joint. This arrangement allows easy movement of the body parts in all the directions. The hip joint and shoulder joint are the two examples of the ball and socket joint. The next type of joint is the pivot joint. In this type of joint, one of the bones acts like a cylinder and fits into the end of the other bone, which is like a ring. Hence, the first bone rotates inside the ring and allows easy movement of the body part in different directions. An example of a pivot joint is the neck joint. The pivot joint allows the movement of neck sideways, upward, and downward. It even allows the rotation of the neck. The last type of joint is the gliding joint. This type of joint allows the bones to glide over each other and hence allows slight movement of the body parts. In this type of joint, the joint bones are flat and so they slide back and forth and side to side. Ankle joint and wrist joint are some examples of the gliding joint.
Now we will study about muscles. Muscles cover the skeletal framework of the body. You all know this, children, that our whole body is covered by muscles and it is present above the bones. All kinds of movement in our body is produced by the muscles. The muscles contract and relax, and this leads to the movement of bones. Muscles are attached to bones with connecting bands called tendons. Tendons you can see in the picture, children. These are white color connecting bands. The muscles are attached to bones with the help of these tendons only. Now let's see the working of muscles. Muscles always work in pair. One muscle contracts and the other relaxes. This contraction and relaxation of muscles is responsible for movement. Now see here the muscles of the arms. The upper arm has a long bone, you can see, which has a pair of muscles called biceps that are at the front and triceps that are at the back. So these biceps and triceps work in pairs. When the biceps contract, the triceps relax, and this allows us to bend our arm. Just opposite happens when the triceps contract, biceps relax. So this contraction and relaxation helps in the movement of our bones. Contracted biceps bulge out and you can feel it by your hands. So children, we studied that the rhythmic contraction and relaxation of muscles helps in all kinds of movements. One table is given in your book, children, in page number 83 on joints. Learn the table nicely. I hope, children, you all understood these topics. Learn them in your home also.